Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions regarding this watch. Today, a little giant, a 40mm Bethune DB25 moonphase. This is a watch that features a high jewelry setting in its profile, on its dial, and even on its buckle. It is an extraordinary example of the kind of craft arts that are practiced at Bethune. So the watch right here is the rarely seen 40mm DB25 case size, which is perfect given the glow of all that ice. 40 in diameter, it's 12.7 millimeters thick, 47.1 lug-to-lug with a 22mm spacing between the lugs. Now this is not a lady's watch. It's a smaller DB25, but it's not a lady's timepiece. And you can see on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it still has quite a bit of presence. Now it is quite subtle. People often pick up dials, but not so much case bands, and that's where these invisibly set baguette diamonds add a lot of the sparkle. Looking down the barrel, you can see the lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see that better. And though the watch looks kind of sheer and cylindrical, remember, it's only 12.7 millimeters thick with a sloped bezel. It will slide underneath the dress cuff. I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. The strap's a lovely piece, although you could see it is genuine calf on the bottom. I suspect this is one of the straps we use for shipping the watch. If it is a synthetic alligator leather, rest assured we will ship it on the real alligator hide article. The reason we often use the synthetics is for shipping sensitive animal hides between continents and countries. Calf skin is welcome everywhere. Gator is a bit more contentious. But what you receive will look exactly like this. Large rectangular scale alligator leather, sheer cut and lacquered for refinement with a monotone stitch, and made by the OEM supplier of straps for Journe and Bethune, which is Jean Rousseau. Pull-tab spring bars, so you can quickly and easily pop the strap off the case for cleaning between the lugs and strap replacement. And then you can see this extraordinary hand setting of gems in the Bethune white gold buckle that accompanies the watch. Now the watch is made of a type of white gold called gray gold. So gray gold is white gold all the way through. It's a homogeneous alloy. It's the good stuff. It's upscale. Bethune Grubel 4C, Rolex, JLC, they all use gray gold. So it's a little bit warmer in color than rhodium plated white gold, but it never needs to be replated, and if it's scratched, it's the same color underneath. The DB25 was conceived as a model line in 2007 to be a more approachable and conservative Bethune watch for people coming from Holy Trinity, Lange, maybe a more conservative independent like FP Journe, Moritz Grossman, Kari Voutilainen, and this gives you something that's recognizably a watch. Fixed lugs, a round case, a solid dial, and all of these components made in-house at Bethune, which is a fully integrated manufacturer, and I don't believe they have yet made their 4,000th watch. Last year they made about 330, and they're going slow. So this is a company that produces, in a good year, maybe 1/3 as many watches as FP Journe, so production is going to be exclusive. If you break it up into 27s, 28s, 29s, DBDs, 25s, dream watches, you find that the number of any given variant made per year maybe only a dozen or so. And when it's a high jewelry piece like this, well, use your imagination, but the exclusivity is extraordinary. While the watch may be more conservative than a DB28, it is not more common. Taking a look, the crown is unbranded because watchmaking genius behind Bethune Denis Flageolet, he is a traditionalist, and so in the pocket watch era, you would not have a signed crown more often than not. We do have these lovely open, vacuated, prismatic lugs with little cabochon or bullet tip cap shape at the end. That's the last styling vestige of the original DB1 chronograph, and that little ogival lug end has been characteristic of most Bethune designs through the years. Maybe not the 20, 21, 22, that series, but almost all of the others. Note the combination of knurling and drilling on the crown, and then look at these baguette gems and notice how there is no visible setting. They are locked in place without any cladded or welded white gold to hold them in place. So unlike, say, the diamond on your wedding ring, you cannot actually see the white gold fixing these perfectly matched diamonds together. Their color, their clarity, their carats, their cut, so identical that there's no gradient of perception between the crystals. And then on the dial side, fired blue titanium. This is a de Bethune specialty, taking titanium and then firing it blue. But before it can be fired, it has to be mirror polished. You can also see the dial is multi-piece with this toroidal outer track that features diamond indices for the hours, and then the center disc, which includes white gold cabochon for the distant stars, and then the use of diamonds, for example, to create the constellation of Orion. The hands are modified Breguet style, and you can see that they feature little cabochon inset within them, but they've also been rolled. You can see that arc so that they will be able to clear the patented spherical moon phase. Now, this is the type of moon phase you find on a perpetual calendar, which is to say it requires only one adjustment every 122 years. But here's the other thing. There is a quick set for it. So if you want to make it a more dynamic display for your friends, it's easy to do so. Now, it's 1/2 fired blue steel, 1/2 white precious metal palladium, but there's also a divide between the use of set diamonds and blue sapphires on those hemispheres. So 44 blue sapphires, 44 diamonds set on this spherical moon phase, and it is a lot of fun to play with via the quick set. 30 meters water resistant, so don't swimming with it, but it is a watch that is designed for everyday use. And there are a couple of accommodations here for everyday use. One is the winding system. This is a manual wind twin barrel watch with 6 days of power reserve, but because of the slipping mainspring, these patented self-adjusting twin barrels cannot accidentally be overwound. So you've got that safe harbor against crashing through the resistance of a mainspring and damaging your very expensive watch. You'll also notice 1, 2, 3 shock protection springs for the balance. Two purposes. One, protect the balance staff pivot from fracturing, but also if the outer springs can take up most of the shock, then there's no displacement of the balance staff from the cup of its pivot jewel, which improves chronometry. So Mission 1, prevent damage. Mission 2, improve timekeeping. So twin self-adjusting barrels, patented. The spherical 122-year moon phase, patented. Triple parachute shock protection, patented. And then this disc-style balance wheel, it is a disc of silicon with a white gold rim. It is patented. I believe this is the 2010 patent balance from de Bethune. De Bethune has at least 10 patented balances, and Denis scraps the old design and creates a new one every time he finds a better way to minimize the effect of temperature change on timing, minimize the effect of aerodynamic drag on timing, and maximize the percentage of total mass in the rim. And with this precious metal rim that is seamless and a silicon disc, he's done that. It's hard to tell that it's running. Your only clue is this hairspring, and yes, it too is patented. It's actually a flat hairspring that's cut into two pieces. Those two pieces are then shaped by hand and micro-clamped together again to breathe concentrically like an overcoil, this is canceling out gravity, but also staying thin and shock-resistant like a flat hairspring. Finally, there's decoration. We talk about poly noir, or black polish. Usually it's on a swan's neck regulator, maybe a screw, but this is the entire movement. Now, it's beaten away at 4 hertz, but it is a mirror-polished movement, 28,800 vibrations per hour, so no compromises to achieve that 6-day power reserve. You'll also see de Bethune's silicon escape wheel there to reduce the need for lubrication, maintenance, and reduce the total mass in the drivetrain. Look at all that mirrored finish. Optically smooth, it's called poly noir because it only reflects light at one angle. From every other angle, it is black or noir. Take a look at the ratchet wheel. First of all, the snailing on the barrel caps, but look at the ratchet wheel there. If you look carefully, the camera may not pick it up, that's a good angle. You could see micro beveling on the teeth of the solarized ratchet wheel. You can also see that the bridge for the balance has been fully rounded and mirrored. This is something you expect of Apex brands like Grubel Forsey. A lot of folks don't think about fine finish when they think of de Bethune, but they should. The entire cap to the base plate and the cap to the barrel bridge mirror polished steel. And because we're capping the barrel bridge, there's anglage on the edge of both the underlying bridge and the cap atop it. So you can see that stacked double anglage right there. And if you look very carefully, you can see the underlying bridge actually features Côte de Bethune stripes. There's finish where you can barely see it. And media blast on the base plate and polished screw heads and beveling within the jewel sinks. it's the total package. People ask about the shape of this bridge, and the answer is multifaceted, but the best answer, and I really want to honor this, Denny told me it was a leaf he found while hiking in the hills around his home in Lauberson, Switzerland. Otherwise, the deltoid form represents upward striving, the aspiration to improve, to shoot for the stars. And while Denis is a Star Trek fan and he appreciates the comparison, that was not the primary inspiration. But he is aware of it. He does not despise the comparison. If you love this watch, it's a great opportunity. It's an incredible timepiece, beautifully sized, and a piece of art on every conceivable level. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.